Hey, good morning. What a beautiful day it is to be a child of God. I'm going to speak on this because I see it a lot. I see a lot of children of God walking and leaning on their own understanding, walking according to the flesh instead of according to the spirit. Now, you know that Jesus came here to show us and be an example of how we're supposed to be lived. Jesus was not only filled with the Spirit, but he also walked in the Spirit. And he came standing on business. He came to do his Father's will, not his own will. He said, it's not my will, Father, it's yours. So why are we waking up in the morning saying what we going to do today? Instead of asking God to order our steps. Why are we saying that I? We have to be careful when we start doing that I stuff, because that can lead into pride. That can lead into walking into pride. Y'all, we supposed to be locked in and ain't no switching up. Hey, y'all, we're in Luke chapter 4, going over to verse 1. Then Jesus, being filled with the Holy Spirit, returned from the Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. So y'all see that? Jesus was filled with the Spirit and led by the Spirit. Now I'm going to show you what Jesus stood on. B-I-is. Hey, y'all, we're in John chapter 4, going over to verse 34, but I'm going to read 33 for context. Therefore, the disciples said to one another, has anyone brought him anything to eat? Jesus said to him, my food is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish his work. Hey, y'all, we're in John chapter 5, going down to verse 30. I can of myself do nothing. As I am here, I judge, and my judgment is righteous, because I do not seek my own will, but the will of the Father who sent me. Y'all, we're in John chapter 6, going down to verse 38. For I have come down from heaven, not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me. Hey, y'all, we're in John chapter 8, going over to verse 26. I have many things to say and to judge concerning you, but he who sent me is true, and I speak to the world those things which I heard from him. They did not understand that he spoke to them of the Father. Then Jesus said to them, when you lift up the Son of Man, then you will know that I am he, and I do nothing of myself, but as my Father taught me, I speak these things, and he who sent me is with me. The Father has not left me alone, for I always do those things that please him. Y'all, we're in John chapter 10, going over to verse 18. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This command I have received from my Father. Y'all, we're in John chapter 12, going over to verse 49. For I have not spoken on my own authority, but the Father who sent me gave me a command, what I should say and what I should speak. And I know that his commandment is everlasting life. Therefore, whatever I speak, just as the Father has told me, so I speak. Y'all, we're in John chapter 14, verse 30. I will no longer talk much with you, for the ruler of this world is coming, and he has nothing in me. But that the world may know that I love the Father, and as the Father gave me commandments, so I do. Arise, let us go from here. Y'all, we're in John chapter 15, going over to verse 10. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. Y'all, I know that was a lot, but look, that's how serious Jesus was about standing on his Father's business. He came to do what the Father told him to do. Walking, talking, whatever it is the Father told him to do, he did it. He stayed in prayer. He stayed in connection with his Father, right? And if we are joint heirs with Jesus, then what you think we're supposed to be doing? Now, somebody might say, well, how do you walk in the Spirit? Well, there's an example of that too. Let's go to Galatians chapter 5. Y'all, we're in Galatians chapter 5, going over to verse 16. I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary to one another, so that you do not do the things that you wish. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are evident, which are, now it goes into a whole list of evil things, but we're going to go over here to what the Spirit says. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law, and those who are Christ have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another. Well, I know today's lesson was a little bit long, but this is something that has to be told. This is a word, okay? And I hope that you understand that we are here because God called us to be set apart. He called us to himself to do his will, not ours. And there's a certain way that we're supposed to be walking on this earth. So I hope that you guys take heed, read all those chapters, and then soak that in like a sponge and not let it go in one ear and out the other. Have a blessed day.